But I think I'm done. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to talk about. Nothing that we won't talk about during Freax, I believe. Speaking of, is everybody ready for Freax? We have 2 billion Freax to do. I don't actually have a ton of them like brought up. Maybe I will ask you all for Freax as they occur. How does that sound? We could do a joint Freax. Twitter Freaks, you're gay. Twitter Freaks, you're gay. Twitter Freaks. Dude, how'd you get so funny? How'd you think of that hilarious joke? Well, it wasn't easy. I started by... like... Oh, that's pretty loud. All right, everybody. It's time for the one, the only Twitter... Freaks. Let's go ahead and minimize our Master Duel Blaster Duel and get to our right settings. First up, we got to talk about the TikTok ban. So, in case you all didn't know, the TikTok ban may be happening. This is surprising to me as it directly contradicts nothing ever happens thought, and for that reason I have to imagine that it's not going to go through. We've got 6 days to find a solution to the TikTok ban's conditions, or else it will be banned. But what are they going to do? They're going to remove it from the App Store? Highly unlikely. What's the United States is going to compel Apple to do something? Who do you think calls the shots these days? It's not us. We'll see. Something may happen, but you know me, I bet it all on nothing. Ugh, chudra. However, in the wake of TikTok being banned, a lot of individuals are downloading Red Note, which is like a TikTok that has a Chinese ownership. And there are Chinese people on the app. People are posting a bunch of incredible threads from Red Note. This is one that I love. It says, "Welcome, my American friend. I am your new Chinese spy friend." It's so good. LMAO, thousands of people downloading Red Note, the version of TikTok owned by China, despite the U.S. government's finding themselves having lovely interactions with the millions of Chinese citizens on the app and inadvertently undoing decades of U.S. propaganda. Okay, calm down. Everybody wants this to be revolutionary action, but downloading an app isn't going to, bring down the wall. I'll tell you this. The number one annoying thing about TikTok is the way people talk about Chinese people. It's awful. They're like, every Chinese person is like chomping at the bit to destroy you, your family, and your way of life. And every Chinese person is like, I have invented a new way to drink alcohol. Behold, if you spin the bottle of beer, a vortex will appear in it as you chug. It's like, wow, yeah, that is antithetical to American life. The unfortunate truth of the matter is that every nation is full of people who are just trying to fucking live their lives. People in China, they hate their bosses and their job and the bullshit their government does, just like we do here. And it's really fun when something like this happens and we get a little glimpse into it. Of course, I imagine Red Note will not be allowed to remain legal if TikTok doesn't. Which proves that Zoomers are very stupid. But of course, we all knew this. They are still the smartest generation because their competition is millennials. Moving on. Okay. Would you believe that TikTok being banned, potentially for the millionth time, isn't the biggest scandal this week? No. The biggest scandal this week is Elon Musk lying. He's just lying. Okay. So in case you're unfamiliar, Elon Musk has been claiming to be insanely good at both Path of Exile and Diablo 4, showing his position on leaderboards of Diablo 4 and his achievements on Path of Exile. Now, I hate to be this kind of guy, but both of those people, the people who play Diablo 4 and the people who play Path of Exile, spend an unbelievable amount of time on it. And you're not going to trick people into being like, I guess except the most gullible rubes in the world, which is kind of his fan base, that you are so good at these games you can invest maybe an hour a day into them and be the greatest in the world. Like, truly, come on. And every time we've seen Elon Musk attempt or show off some sort of video game something, he has immediately revealed himself to be one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. I mean, whomst remembers his Elden Ring build? It's just shocking to me that people are buying this. I mean, we all know exactly what's happening. He hands off the account to some lackey and says, get me some good achievements so I can look cool. And then they do. I just don't know what to say, dude. To get to that level, you would need 20 hours every day. Yeah, he's just buying the accounts. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the other potential outcome is that he is doing all this, which means that none of his companies actually require him to show up to work. But we know that's not the case because he's like trotting around at like black tie events, you know, having his kid slung over his shoulder like some kind of fucked up handbag while he tries to see how deep inside Trump's anus he can get his tongue. Goal so far is 6 inches. Maybe he has a clone. Very possible. Very possible. Although I will be honest, I've never seen anyone look the way he does. I almost actually, off the dome, called him something that I think actually is too mean. I don't want to. Next up. I got charged $1 for being a white American. This is racist bullshit. Classic burger plus white American. Another fucking day in Joe Brandon's America. I don't know what to tell you. This is just what people do now. I walk out of my house and my neighbors all call me a cracker and they throw snowballs at me. I just don't. That's how it works. I go to the store and before I can check out at Target, I need to do a land declaration and apologize for being a cracker. It's just unbelievable. So first up, I just want to say that comedy is legal on X.com. Oh my God. The responses to this are painful. First off, why are you putting a note? Come on. Let a woman tell a joke, for God's sake. Second off, let's just read the comments together. Remember, before I get into these comments, if you have a blue check, your reply is boosted on X.com, the everything app. So here we go. This one's good. Girl, why are you drinking 4 16-ounce Michelob beers? What's wrong with you? You need to find Jesus. White person located. But also, mind your own business, you know? 4 Michelob Ultras, you're going to be lucky to get buzzed off that. Come on. It's basically water. Presumably, the burger was served on white American bread. But why should that cost $1 more? What? I would have refrained from paying it. I would tell the manager I wouldn't be back, and I would be telling all my friends about the policy. I would walk out and not pay if that ever appeared on anything I bought. Is this a true receipt? If yes, it looks like it can be the basis for a lawsuit. Community Notes used Gavin Newsom as a reliable source to prove what Gavin didn't happen. Now they're using Wikipedia, the Wikipedia for cheese. Show me the restaurant that bills white American as a cheese instead of just charging for a cheeseburger. Racial discrimination is illegal, as is discrimination against the aged, the disabled, women, and so on. The restaurant has no business doing that. It's illegal. Thank you, Ron Toby. I also like the other people who are like taking it seriously. You were charged a cheese add-on, which so happens in this case is white American cheese. Oh, well, thank you for explaining the joke. Is this even real? Yes. Yes, John Tarek, it is real. I really like your work in the bot lane. That's a stupid joke. Don't put that in. Oh my God. Holy moly. Vanessa, please keep in mind we actually have liberals out there who would be serious about this. Americans still have a sense of humor, but liberals have ruined it online. LOL. Next one of these. Can't wait for Trump to outlaw this. Oh, those unfunny libs. They have no sense of humor. Oh my God. Next up. All right, so it's about to be Trump's America once again, and this week we got a grim reminder of what that's going to look like. Let's start with this.
Jeff Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg came. Many of them came numerous times. The bankers have all come. Everybody's coming.
I mean, America, you had a decision this November. Do not come, or I'm gonna come. Numerous times.
Jeff Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg came. Many of them came numerous times. The bankers have all come. Everybody's coming.
It's so good. By the way, I guess we can use this space to talk about the Zuck stuff. Have you guys seen the Zuck stuff? Mark Zuckerberg is doing like a 180 to like endear himself to the Trump admin. So, in case you're unfamiliar, Facebook is probably one of the most evil companies in the history of time, which we've all known for a while now. And one of the funny things about Facebook is they constantly find themselves in sort of genocide litigation. Because in the same way that like the radio system was used to communicate between like people doing ethnic cleansing in like the 70s and 80s, Facebook can be used to organize like let's go kill members of this race groups on Facebook in like non-English speaking nations. And because Facebook doesn't always staff people who can read that language, they're not fantastic at like stopping it before it starts. So as a result, they are constantly in litigation for failing to prevent like instances of mass organized crime being communicated on their platform. And they continue to sort of aggressively target non-English speaking nations to give them internet access if Facebook is like the only site that they can access. It's this whole thing. So when the Biden admin came in, immediately Zuckerberg was like called in for months to do testimony about this continued problem, right? And so now he is like, you know what I'm going to do to prevent that from happening again? I am going to become like an anti-woke crusader. So what's up?
Real quick, chat, can you remind Joseph to hang up the wet clothes on the drying rack before I get home? Thanks, chat. Joseph, can you hang up the wet clothes in the drying rack before I get home?
Perhaps.
I really hope you do.
Now I really hope I do too. We'll have to see together.
Chat, please don't make me cry. Please remind him.
Do you see how she is attempting to manipulate me with her tears?
Huh?
This is why you have to hold frame. I learned this alpha trick from Mark Zuckerberg. Who this week was on Joe Rogan, talking about how he couldn't believe how unfairly he was targeted by the administration, and how in order to kind of do a 180 on that kind of stuff, he was instituting a new set of policies that include you can now type slurs again. They were like, fuck, I mean, shit. I guess you can type slurs again. You're allowed to now say that like gay people have a mental illness. You're allowed to say like there's no such thing as a trans person. I don't know if you're allowed to say like black people aren't real, but I want to see if someone does. Like I think that's a new fun way to take the direction. You can even say cracker. Well, I should hope so. Anyway, so all I have to say is I know a lot of the people in my chat don't agree with me politically. I understand a lot of you believe that I'm a cucked lib, and that I only care about free speech insofar as I can say the C word on twitch.tv. I would just have to say, don't fall for this. You people, don't fall for this, you fucking people. If the like Trump Republicans fall for this and they're like, wow, Zuckerberg's our guy, well, no, the whole thing is cooked. Like stem to stern, the whole thing is cooked. There's just, oh my God, Elon already did it, and of course with the flip that is occurring, what's happening. He is also getting a divorce. He's getting a divorce. He is getting a divorce. We love it. All right, next up. This one's great too. A wonderful one.
These people are crazy. There's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. They also want to go back, and they have already started that, to when you buy a faucet, no water comes out because they want to preserve. Even in areas that have so much water, you don't know what to do. It's called rain. Comes down from heaven.
Yup.
And
I'm familiar.
They want to do no water comes out of the shower. It goes drip, drip, drip. So what happens? You're in the shower 10 times as long. No water comes out of the faucet. You want to wash your hands. They want to go back to even stronger than what they have right now. As you know, I ended that policy. You can have all the water you want. Makes no difference. It comes weird, especially in certain areas. We have so much water, we don't know what to do with it.
What the fuck is he talking about, dude? It's amazing. He's redoing the low flow toilet bit, I think. It's so good, dude. I love that we're like, oh man, Biden, he has dementia. He is no longer fit for office. He is slipping. Like he has really bad days where he can't say anything. But we could run that back. We could do that with the second guy. Like, holy shit, I love him, dude. Ugh, yuck. I don't know who we're going to get for the post-Trump presidency. Like, should we get Bill Clinton again? Can we do that? Can we abolish the 25th Amendment? 25, is that the one? We got to put Bill Clinton back in charge. All right, next up. Okay, so this week has been the greatest week in the history of time on X.com for Treeter discourse. Is everyone here familiar with 2025 word of the year Treeter? So, so Treeter is a term that refers to an individual who's like, well, I consider myself a liberal, but at the first opportunity, when something interferes with their ability to get treats or maximize their treat intake, they become Hitler. This is the people who are like, I hate it when my DoorDash driver is Indian. I hate it when my Instacart slave is a man. I hate it when the warehouse workers at Amazon are striking. Where are my treats? And I gotta say, I think of this image every single time when I see a post about DoorDash discourse. I think, where's the treatler? Where is he? Oh my god, it's so good. The swastika as the propeller on the beanie is so unbelievable. All right, next up. Okay. Dog, it's so over. This is the continued discourse about the Odyssey from 2 weeks ago. We are still doing this. We can't move on. Starting to feel like a big barrier to reading classics is the dense English in which they're written or translated into. Is there much gained by learning these high register English, given some of these texts aren't even originally in English? Oh! Come on. Come on, man. I'm sorry. We can't keep doing this. The quote tweet I do love, when I was in college, I heard people mock English degrees as lacking rigor, just an excuse to read novels all day. I could never have predicted the speed with which we'd move on to reading novels is too rigorous and simply can't be taught. It is shocking. It's unbelievable how quickly people were like, well, I haven't read any books this year because, like, I don't have the capacity to, like, sit down and look at a page for 2 hours. And it's like, should we ruminate on that? Like, why has that become so hard for everybody? Is that's really bad that's become hard, right? Am I crazy? You should try to do it. You really should try to do it. And also, the high register English the classics are written in, what are they fucking talking about here? Like, I know they're talking about the Odyssey, but, like, they can't be talking about dense English in the Odyssey. That's just not how that text works. Maybe like Shakespeare? They used the word whilst. That's 100%. It's this. I know exactly what they're talking about. They are English. They are a British person, and therefore you are allowed to ignore them. Literally any book written in the 20th century. Like, what are they reading, like fucking 1984 in high school and being like, God, the writing is too hard? No, it isn't. These are books for 15-year-olds. Oh, they're reading Finnegan's Wake. Yeah, okay, Siberian literally in chat. Stately, plump Buck Mulligan came from the stairhead bearing a bowl of leather on which a mirror and razor lay crossed. Keep talking, Siberian. Keep going. Siberian, when are we making Gavin read Infinite Jest and pretend that he likes it? Would be very easy to do. My somewhat neurospicy brain needs at least two senses active at once, and since most novel reading is only visual, I find it harder to focus. Well, Jordan not Jor, why don't you fucking read in front of a bowl of fresh fruit? Then you can get your senses going as well. Start sniffing. We gotta go nuclear. John Skalski's The Odyssey. That happened. Dude, wait. You're fucking me up. We gotta do that. Just play some music. And let me tell you, if you play some classical music while you're reading, you will feel like the most pretentious person of all time. Sit in your study with a nice leather-bound book, and you're in the back, bum 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 bada bum bada bum 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 bada bum. Oh my God, you're gonna feel like a fucking genius. You're gonna feel like Sherlock Holmes. Bada bum bum bum. All right, next up. In the nude, too. Okay, calm down. But worst case scenario, Jordan not Jor, you know what you can do? So you can always just, like, read on a tablet and then just have your phone in the other hand just playing Subway Surfer clips. Is there a pretentious fruit I can eat or smell to add to that? Probably pomegranate is the most pretentious fruit right now. I don't know. I always recommend clementines when they're in season. Next up. Okay, we've talked a lot about Hitler today somehow. Cool guy I found. Folks, this is why they're banning TikTok, because this guy is speaking truth to power.
Oh, hey, it's me, Gay Hitler. I'm not really into politics anymore. I like fashion and poppers and guys with big honkin' goblin wieners.
Thanks. I'm not really into politics anymore. But I've been thinking ever since seeing this of guys with big honkin' goblin wieners all week. It's crazy. Okay, next up. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. ChatGPT has ruined the attention spans of all Gen Alpha individuals. That's why they can't read books anymore. Well, it extends to our terrorists. So you remember the guy who blew up the Cybertruck? Well, before he did it, he went to ChatGPT and he was like, how many explosives do I buy, ChatGPT? ChatGPT, I want to commit an act of terrorism. Where do I buy fireworks? How fast do bullets have to go? I could read this in a book, but the dense English is too hard for my square head to absorb. Oh my. ChatGPT, can you write out an ISIS-style terrorism plan? And please put Subway Surfers in the answer. It's so good. Oh, man. Oh, God. This TV belongs in a museum. If we could get this setup, the like weird USB like splitter here on the top, the CRT with the integrated VCR showing the news of I went to ChatGPT to find out how much bomb I would need to buy to do terrorism. And if we could just take this image, like this three-dimensional still image, and place it like in the Smithsonian or maybe the Vatican, I think it would really change something here. This has to be your new streaming setup. ChatGPT, where could I buy explosives and a new streaming setup? Next up. Wow, that's crazy. Mel Madara was released on this day 15 years ago. You know, it feels like only a couple of weeks. Time has really flown. This is a joke for the 4 people in my audience who played the League of Legends. I just thought this was cool. This showed up on my dash, and I was like, yeah, they did used to draw champ portraits like that. How interesting. I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting. It was fun. Old lol, it wouldn't have been a black character. Well, you see, they kind of made her sort of like ambiguous in this one, right? Like old Nidalee used to look like sort of ambiguous. They were like, ooh, what is she? She could be anything. When did Lucian come out? 2013. Thresh was the newest champ when I started playing League. and then I stopped playing League. When did I stop playing League? Who is the newest champ? Who came out after Azir? I remember Azir was out for a while before I left. Trying to think who the last champ I was out for was. You picked a shit time to start. There's not really a good time to start. I did see Bard. I remember Bard. How about after that? List of League champs by release. I'll never get over Marxist Garanist. Still my name. They haven't made me change it yet. I play on a Wild Rift sometimes when I take a shit, but recently I've been playing Game Boy Advance instead. We can do it by release date. Okay, these guys are all out. Let me find Thresh 2013. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, Vi was the newest champion when I started, and then Thresh came out. I left as Pyke was coming out. So I played for 5 years. That's actually not as long as I thought I was playing. That's I don't remember Nico at all. Which is fucked up because Silas is a character I think I would like a great deal. But I guess it took an entire year. You got to understand, there was a period in like 2009 where they were literally releasing a champ every single week, and they were all broken, and none of them worked, and they were just like, that's just what it is. Now we get maybe 4 champs a year. I think that's how it should be. Like, they get to make them really interesting as a result. Although I don't know what the new ones look like, so who knows? Aurora and Smolder were the ones released in 2024. Only 2 of them, huh? Briar and Nico are wife material. All right, I'm going to click Briar and I'm going to click Nico. And if what I see is 2 children, I'm banning you. Ready? That's 1. I actually already knew the answer to this one. I'm cheating. I'm cheating. Okay, next up. Oh, so good, man. This one's great. So, Seth MacFarlane. So let's talk about LA. I don't know if you guys know this. It's on fire. The entire state is on fire of California, but mostly LA, because of wildfires. We don't know how it started. I think they are guessing it is arson at present. But the thing is, there's just the rainfall this year was so bad, to my understanding, that like all seasons are now wildfire season. Like if a fire starts, it just goes any time of the year. Which sucks. It's horrible. Like it's really, really devastating that these densely populated areas are just going to have to live with the fact that from here on out, if anyone like overcooks a piece of meat, it has the potential to kill you and all your family and destroy everything you own. So I don't know. This is in not to get all doomer about climate change, but this is in tandem with like this. We are expected to cross the 1.5 C this year, which we were hoping to never cross. And even if we did cross, we were expecting it to happen in like 20 years, which means like things are getting really bad really quick. And we are now to the position where like we are just locked in on maximum debilitating effects of climate change, which means in the next like 30 years we are gonna face the like billion climate refugees problem. I mean, it's bad, it's awful, and one of the places that is going to become uninhabitable is like these densely populated areas with no fire resistance, right? No wonder we want Greenland. I mean, kind of, right? Anyway, Seth MacFarlane drew this, which says, thank you to our amazing Los Angeles firefighters. Stay safe. Which is great. I love it. Thanks. But I do like the quote tweet that's like, listen, knowing the demo of firefighters, there probably are some that are like, I'll do it for you, Brian. It's great. It's wonderful. I will say though, this is why I'm never getting off Twitter. Because the response to this was, anyway, firefighters used to leave black babies to die in America's past. Fuck them too. A shitty picture by a man who tells Jokes for a living. Taylor Swift. Okay. I love this site, man. This site is so good. You just can't get this anywhere else. That's why I think Bluesky is not going to take, but we do have one from Bluesky this week, so. All right. Should I say it? Should we talk a little bit about the grinder? So if you recall on Wednesday, we did just a smidge of Twitter Freax about the dueling book grinder, who spent the entire week crashing out because of a series of unfortunate events that I will now describe for you in detail. For the past couple of weeks, he's been using AI-generated images of capybaras like smoking weed and playing cards for his Go Live tweets. I think Sarah tweeted something like, "Oh, that's my comfort character using AI art." Good tweet. And he spent a week crashing out being like, I can't believe I'm getting all this hate just for using AI. I used to steal art and now I'm doing AI. What's going to make you people happy? And then Scarlon got super aggro and was like, well, if it isn't another cishet creator not taking accountability, it fucking rocked. It was the entire weekend. I'm sorry, DBG picked, like, literally had 14 QuickTime events in a row and just whiffed every single one. It was crazy. The finale where he just like put a hoodie on and was like dancing, and one of the comments was like, "I love white people pretending to be black," and I was like, fuck, come on, let him live. Oh man, I felt so bad for DBG, despite the fact that I disagree with him vehemently on this one. He like tried to get in a tiff with like Jessica Robinson, and she was like, "Why were you hearting all these posts like dead naming me and calling me like names and shit?" And he was like, "I heart every post for algorithm reasons." He couldn't get one QTE correct. It was unbelievable. Okay. So the reason we're still doing this, by the way, is because after it was over, Hoban, the Patrick Hoban, was like, "You know what, DBG, I'm gonna solve this problem for you." But because he's like 40 years old, like he had to do it a couple days after, you know how Gen X is. He's a millennial. I don't know why. I shouldn't slander him in this way. And so he was like, "Actually, AI is the future, and anyone who doesn't embrace it is standing in the past." And it's like, okay, not what this is about. This is like clearly not what this is about. So, someone quote tweeted him and was like, well, another shitty right winger defending AI. And he was like, "I'm not a right winger. I worked on the Clinton campaign. You people are the reason the Democrats ruin elections," which I have to imagine is a reply that he wrote, like rubbing his hands together, salivating, because he had just made a $1 million bet with his friends that he could get MBT to reply. Like that is a tweet specifically designed to get me to reply for. It's not even bait at this point. Like, what am I supposed to do? It's in my DNA. So of course I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're gonna tell us how to win an election, you know?" And we got into a little tiff. I don't want to get too into it because I think it was largely very respectful. I want to say the reason I jumped to the person who quote tweeted Hoban's defense was because they occasionally tweet in the Prog memes thread. And if you have ever made me laugh, I will lay down my life for you. But I don't want to like talk about the meat of this like non-argument, because it really was just me being like, "Listen, like everyone can't love you, you know? You got to ignore some of the people that disagree with you, especially when they occupy a different, I would say, rhetorical space than you do, right? This is something that I have struggled with my entire time on Twitter. How do you not just do an easy dunk on someone who's clearly wrong? And like, I have had to do, shouts out to the people who were very patient with me while I had to do a lot of learning, being like, okay, sometimes I just have to ignore it. So I was like, "Listen, I think you got to move on. I really do not agree with your position here, but I think you got to move on." The reason I'm bringing all of this up is because before the weekend was over, we got the Jack Trick Hoban. I would sit through 1,000 years of this mind-numbing discourse to experience the Jack Trick Hoban again. It's unthinkable. Wow. Dark Tome, one of the best to ever do it. Holy shit. The Nike eyebrow, it's perfect. God damn, it's wonderful. Okay, next up. Elon Musk's mom says it's degrading to call her son wealthy, and that she would prefer he be referred to as the genius of the world. Well, I guess we got to do it. Sorry. You're right. Okay, I'll do it. Absolutely, ma'am. I didn't know. I will now do that. What is up with his left eye? I guess you could ask what's up with his right eye, right? You wouldn't go against the wishes of a mother. Indeed, I wouldn't. Next up. Okay. This one I just want to, in the wake of TikTok, potentially being banned this week, it's time to amplify one of the most annoying but ever-present voices on Twitter.com and do what they want, which is to have an Irish wake for TikTok in which you reminisce upon your favorite stuff that ever happened on the app. This was a good one. The free money bank glitch. Do you guys remember this? There was a glitch that people found where you cash a fraudulent check, you take the money out before the check is before they figure out the check is fraudulent, and then you just have the money. It's a free money glitch called check fraud. Right? Like free money glitch, and it's stealing. It's great. It's wonderful. Zoomer's getting really into bin Laden. I remember that. People found like bin Laden's old writing and they were like, wow, America really is the great Satan. And it's like, maybe, but probably not for the reasons you're describing. Giants. God, so many giants on this app. There's so many people on TikTok who are like, giants are real. They built the pyramids. The Tartan mud flood is the reason why you don't see their bones. There's huge additional portions of each individual like building underneath their scaffolding. It's great. It's wonderful. Helen Keller. Some of my family friends were radicalized into this. I say radicalized like in matters, but they were like, yeah, Helen Keller was lying. She was actually a dumb bitch. There's no way she could have done this. So many people I know that were like, yeah, I believe she isn't real. And you would always go, why do you believe that? And they'd be like, come on. They'd be like, come on. Like, there's no way, right? It's so good. Like, no evidence, just vibes. It was wonderful.
T'es woke, toi.
T'es woke, toi. Tu es ton woke left.
Woke left. Tu supportes les trans pis les pronoms.
Pronom.
Oui, ça, mes pronoms. Mes
Québec.
pronoms. Québec. Français.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
It's a very good one. It is very good. Oh my God. Devious Licks. Who remembers Devious Licks? Kids would just go into their high school and like steal water fountains and take them home. That shit was so funny. The lady that made the tunnel system. Oh my God. Oh yeah. She every day would be like, I've spent another 10 hours building a tunnel under my house. Got 0 permits for it. She was just building it to build it. There was no end goal. The city had to come and shut it down. Oh my God. The sea shanties. Everyone was like, oh, I'm into sea shanties now. What sea shanties are you into? Exactly this one. There once was a man who went to the sea, and he was very cool, and he was awesome, and he was super gay. Boy, blah, blah, blah. Who-way the Wellermen come. And only that rendition of it. You can sing that sea shanty in an upbeat, happy tempo, but they were like, no, I want to hear it as like a dirge that like they sing on the fucking Davy Jones locker ship from Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, man. The shifting. Oh, who remembers shifting? You just like concentrate really hard and like vibrate your way into a parallel universe where you can hang out with Harry Potter. Fuck. Shifting was awesome. Oh my God. Wow. I never knew the penny challenge. I never really knew that one. Oh, man. The Kia Boys. Okay, well that one was just stealing. The like, here's how to steal a Kia or a Subaru. That one is stealing. Watertok. Watertok is. We gotta watch some fucking Watertok. Can we please just watch one Watertok video?
Let's make my water of the day. What flavors am I gonna choose today? I'm gonna do the purple Skittles, blue Skittles packet, which is pineapple and passion fruit. Okay, I'm doing a full packet of the wild berry punch Skittles packet. This one's one of my favorites. Let's give that a little mixer-rooney.
Mixer-rooney.
Let's add in my ice. I need a lot. Now to my second water bottle. Let's add half of that pineapple passion fruit packet here. Let's shake that up now. All right, now I'm gonna try to layer this on top of the purple layer and it's gonna look beautiful. I think it's working. Oh my God, I think this is the cleanest layer we've ever had. It looks so beautiful.
Looks like
I don't
shit,
even
I'm
want
not
to do
gonna lie.
anything to it. But we have to top it off with a skinny syrup, of course. So I'm going to try the mermaid syrup on top of this here and hopefully it won't mess up our layer. Oh, of course it's good. Let's.
I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Oh my God, what can you say about this? Oh, my favorite part is that it begins with 2 bottles of water. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to be like this. You are not a real water drinker if you do not drink leadened, unfiltered water. Come on. Also, I gotta say, I can't believe he got to be vice president after this. Like, I thought this would doom his campaign. All right. What else? What else? I think about all those people getting into Soldier Poet King, thinking it was a fun bardcore song. Oh, this was so fucking funny, dude. People were like, they had this song in the background while they were like, here's my elf cosplay. It's about Jesus! Ugh. Jesus supports the elves. That's true. That I agree with that. That's true. Speaking of TikToks, this is actually more YouTube shorts, but I'm in. Is this fucking Bistro Huddy Yori? I don't want to see this, CJ. I saw Rebecca post about Bistro Huddy Yori, and I was like, this has got to be something CJ has sent her. But lo, how surprised I was when it was the other way around. I'm sorry. Listen, as a millennial, I feel like I have to disavow. I have to apologize for these, like, people who are millennials wearing wigs being every character at once trying to reinvent The Office. I have to apologize for it. It's cringe. I don't like it. Okay, next up. All right, we got to talk about Dream. Okay, all right. So, do you? Okay, so who here knows who Dream is? Okay, so if you guys don't remember, Dream is the guy who explained what the point of the mask is. Used to have an SMP, which stands for Suckin' My Penis, in which he would play Minecraft with a bunch of underage kids, which was okay because I think he was underage at the time. It catapulted him to $10 quadrillion every 2 weeks and a fan base of exclusively little boys and girls using their mommy and daddy's credit card. Since then, he has mostly just done a crash out every 30 minutes. Like, it was been a very interesting sort of trajectory for the man. And presently, His existing one is a bunch of his friends have come together and been like, listen, this guy, he kind of just like got his brain broken by the amount of fame he got super early, and is a bad person. And so to disprove that, he held like a 5-hour stream where he like went through all the he was like, I have to set the record straight, and then never set the record straight. He also tweeted an image that was like Dream SMP fans, and it was the Yu-Gi-Oh like Dark Path and Light Path, and the Light Path was like being a normal person, and the Dark Path was like Arsler Tommy Innit fan. I just want to say, I don't know too much about this drama. As your lawyer, Dream, you gotta keep posting. You gotta keep going live on these streams. You gotta keep doing these. They're so funny. They're doing the number one thing I've seen people rake him over the coals for was people used to think he was gay for another person in his little like club. And he was like, I'm not gay. He's like, I promise I wasn't queer baiting. I just let people have their own interpretations. And it's like, yeah, like, I don't think you should really be held to this standard, but I also don't think you should be like, I'm not gay. Oh, it's so good, dude. I love it. Keep going. We got to get the gumball guy back in on this. What does the gumball guy have to say about this? MBT's in queer baiting. He really wants to fuck Danny. Yeah, I mean, like, the reason Danny isn't happening has nothing to do with queer baiting and everything to do with the fact that Danny's straight. One day. All right. New new dye workwear. Nice outfit, but the tie knot should be bigger. Wow. That's wow. That's like a shirt at this point. What is this tie? This is like this tie belonged to one of the giants who made the pyramids on TikTok. Oh my God. At least it's a 4-in-hand. This is a 64-in-hand. Oh no. Wow. That's whew. All right, next up. Okay, this one was insane. This was the main character of like a couple days ago. This one was unbelievable. I'm 5'7", 113 pounds. I take all my supplements. I sleep 8 hours a night. I'm not on BC. I don't eat processed food. I eat over 2,500 calories a day. Yet somehow a fat woman would somehow be more fertile than me? Sure, LOL. What the fuck? This is one of those tweets where I'm like, okay, what? Was she like seething about this? Was she sitting in her house like, you're telling me a fat woman would be more fertile than I? I'll let you know my loins are fecund as fuck. Yes, I guess. She got dumped. I can't imagine a world in which she got dumped by someone for a heavier woman who, when asked about why he dumped her, said, you are not sufficiently fertile for me. I can't imagine that's it. It's got to be something else. It's Tradcath LARP posting. Well, no fucking duh. We all know what it is. It's this like weird type of fetishy posting that's like, I don't eat red 40. I'm like constantly ovulating. It's like, good for you. We don't need to know that. And there's some guy with a stone statue Avi jacking off to this somewhere. Congratulations. I got to bust a nut somewhere. No red 21. That's literally true. Drew Babe, that is horrible to hear. I don't like hearing that. All right, next up. Oh, hold up. Wait, is this real? I probably can't play this. I bet this is DMCA. Wait, is this real? Holy shit. Where'd they get this video? I didn't know they had video back then. How is he going to walk down that pyramid? What is he like doing there? He's like jerking it off. Wait, did this really happen? Hold on, maybe I was too harsh on these TikTok kids. Maybe they know something I don't. That guy has muscle definition that I think can't exist in a being that size. I've seen some large... Okay, that is just a normal-sized man. I mean, he's, like, really ripped, but, like, that's not a giant. The crystal! Oh, I didn't know the crystal was in here! Okay, that is a giant. Back to the giant. What's he doing? He's just putting his hand in there. It looks like he would be really bad at making pyramids. Is he not burning? Ow. Anyway, I got... Oh! He summoned that one up. I gotta say, this is real. I love these videos. What's that video from? Based on imagination and development in the method of building the period 7,000 years ago. Why would giants work as slaves for tiny humans when they could squash them? It's like if we were enslaved by hamsters. That was their way of building at the time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't... Okay. All right, okay. Yeah. I didn't think... Oh, I didn't think about it that way. You got me. Next up. Straight. I'm a straight male, but my butt has been explored. What can I improve here? See photos. Didn't need to know that. I appreciate that I know that. I would say you could improve, you know, exploring your butt some more. r/male living space is so good. It's like one of my favorite places. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go to r/male living space real quick. $25 male, a mailman, Japan. Actually, that looks pretty nice. That sucks, but it is what it is. You gotta just clean up, I think. You got too many of those, like, Amazon core white wire hangers. That's nice. I bet that's fun to lounge in. Lurking for a minute. I live in a barn. Huh. Well, he does live in a barn. I mean... And there's a barber shop chair. Are they a barber? There is no way the TV should be that high. Come on, be reasonable. There is no way that's optimal TV placement. Is that a fucking jacuzzi? Mickey Mouse poster. 2 vibrating massage chairs across from each other. Velvet couch. Jacuzzi. God, I love men. Men are so great. They put my ass on TV. You know who I've been getting really into watching? That feng shui guy on YouTube Shorts. Damn, he's good. I gotta say, I did some of the stuff that he always recommends, and I'm like, you know, it does feel a lot better. It does feel a lot better. God, he's good. The number one thing that he does that I love is when he's like, you just got to put a rug everywhere. I was like, he's right. Rugs are great. Ugh. Fiance left me with nothing. Came up with all this within a week. Came up with the dog within a week. Oh, what's that? Strategically placed book. We love strategically placed book in living space view. What is that? The Awe of God? I mean, I'm not going to say it. Guy gets dumped, turns religious. The dog is like, your ass literally vacuumed right before you put this post on Reddit. Come on. Male surviving space is a shit posting site. I'm not going to mess with that one. All right, next up. You've heard of Ozempic. But have you heard of eating a diet of 25% soft plastic by volume? I gotta say, if you're not an American, we are inventing eating disorders you couldn't imagine. Since, oh my God, I'm gonna sound like DBG here for a second. Satiety is largely due to stretch of the stomach, and people tend to eat a consistent weight of food. Increasing food volume and mass increases satiety. This can be achieved without increasing the calories of food by mixing food with a material that cannot be metabolized. Such a material should be inert, safe, resistant to acid, lack taste, available in powder form, smooth, resistant to heat, and cost-effective. Polytetrafluoroethylene is an ideal substance for this purpose. It is a soft plastic that is widely considered to be the most inert material known. It is extremely stable. Animal feeding trials showed that rats fed a diet of 25% PTFE for 90 days had no signs of toxicity, and the rats lost weight. This article publishes the data from these subchronic animal feeding trials, reviews the relevant available literature, and hypothesizes that increasing the volume of food by mixing the food with PTFE powder at a rate of 3:1 by volume will substantially improve satiety and reduce caloric consumption in people. Incredible. That's so good. First off, why even bother with microplastics? This is macroplastic type shit. Oh my God. Just put the Ozempic in the bag and then eat the bag. Moving on. Ah! Jumbo Josh is real. Oh, hello. Hello, Jumbo Josh. He's kind of cute. Ban. Jumbo Josh photo shoot finished. Thank you so much to everyone who came to see him. He seemed to be in a very good mood after receiving fan mail. I wonder where he'll be appearing next. Please look forward to the next update. Jumbo Josh. Stingle Fwin. I got tagged in this a bunch of times too. Thank you for tagging me in this. This is what I want to see. All right. That is not the end. We have one more freak. We're doing a little bit of Bluesky Freax. Oh, why'd you go and say that? Bluesky Freax. This website was a mistake. Yeah, Bluesky Freax. We have one. So the vibe at Bluesky right now is not great. It's a lot of like legacy media institutions that think they can run the 2016 grift and get people like, fascism is coming. You must help stop it by giving me money. Nowhere is that better exemplified by Eric Lipton of the New York Times. FYI, folks from Bluesky, folks. Reporters at the NYT, among other news organizations, are now generating a giant wave of accountability stories about the new Trump era. Oh, now. You didn't want to do them before? Reading these stories, sharing them, is a form of accountability as well. It is a form of participatory democracy too. Substance matters. That's right. If you want Donald Trump to face accountability, if you want democracy to be saved, you have to read and share the articles we're writing. You have to. It's your civic duty. You have to read our shit and buy it. Pay us money. Fuck. Oh my God. Holy fuck. Oh, I love the NYT, man. My parents are kind of they're lived up, right? Unsurprising given how I turned out. But when my birthday, the year after Trump won, my parents gifted me a subscription to the New York Times, and they were like, I think it's time for you to get a subscription to the Gray Lady. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then the next year rolled around, and I was like, hey, remember last year when you gave me the subscription to the New York Times? And they were like, yeah, that was a big fucking mistake, huh? Yeah, it didn't take more than a couple months for us to be like, oh, okay, like this is going nowhere. All right, that's the end of Freaks. That's the end of Freaks. Get out of here. Get out of here, you freaking weirdos. Let's play some Yu-Gi-Oh!